That's now unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Today, that's the worst United team that's ever come here. I was born in '72. I've never seen a worse United team than that.
They scored,
as soon as they scored, you knew they were going to score again.
As a Mancunian, and a very proud Mancunian, who was born at St Mary's Hospital in Manchester, which no longer exists now. It's a supermarket just opposite the Palace Theatre. But as a proud Mancunian, there's no bigger match in the season in many ways than the Manchester derby. I grew up in an era when United were dominant and it wasn't as enjoyable, the derbies, although we got a lot of results that, as underdogs, perhaps we weren't expecting. We had one of the best records against United, even in the darkest days. But today's peculiar because we come into this one slightly as underdogs, I would suggest, because of the form that City have been showing. Now, we know they're capable of beating this United side particularly, who are below them in the table, but nobody knows for sure. It does feel as if it's a less certain derby than we've seen for a while. As always, I want to thank Timpson for their support. I really appreciate that. Wouldn't be doing this without them, and also Amar Development for their support of the work that I do. So let's see who I meet today. And before I meet people on the day, I was actually hosting a dinner for Blues in Business, a group we meet every 3 months, in central Manchester on Friday, 2 days before the game. And I was sat next to and spent the afternoon with Georgie Kinkladze, the mercurial dribbler of the past. And this is what he had to say about the derby.
Georgie, you're here for the Manchester derby, and you've seen the results that City have had recently. How are you feeling ahead of that Manchester derby?
I said before, I hope it will stop on Sunday and that we start winning again. But derby games is always special for me. This is like a personal. That time, 90s, Manchester United dominate the football, not only Premier League in the Europe. But right now, I'm pleasure to watch how they take the revanche of the team. So I love that.
It's probably the perfect game.
Yeah.
City being on this bad run to get everything going again.
Everything going again back. It's great game to win.
Well, it'll be important to both teams. Amarin's trying to get his team firing. Didn't fire midweek much, and Pep's obviously trying to pull us back from a little bit of a dip. He's still got 3 main defenders out by the looks of things, so I think his team selection is going to be very important. But let's hope we score the first goal.
Derbies bring out special occasions, though, don't they?
Well, it's sometimes form before the game doesn't count. It's what you do on the pitch between the first and the 95th minute or whatever, and that's who's up for it, who can handle the pressure, and who can perform.
We're at home. Our form's not been good. We all know that. Results have not been good. The form, we played good football in many of the games, but can't score, which is quite amazing, really, when you think we've got Erling Haaland up front, but we can't score. That will change today, of course. It's a derby. United, because they've got a new manager, does not mean that they're any better. So Amarin will bring his own men in. I think he's sorting out the wheat from the chaff, but he's still in transition. So hopefully we take advantage of that and we slam him.
What's your favourite derby memory, Gary?
Always when you win. I remember a very sunny day at Main Road in the time when we came second in the league. Played United at home, beat them 3-1. One of their ex-old boys, Brian Kidd, great player, great teammate, played fantastically well for both United and City. Scored 2 that day. We ended up beating them 3-1 on our way to finishing second behind Liverpool by a point. Oh, for that 1-pointer.
Well, we've not been playing great recently, but the form goes out the window for a derby, doesn't it? I'm gonna go 2-1 City today.
You're pretty confident then, despite the run that City are on.
Yeah, form goes out the window, doesn't it, for derby games? So.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
Although their form's not that great, is it?
Nah, obviously lost to Forest. They just about got past them on Thursday as well.
Big day today, Ian, but very emotional one for plenty of Blues, myself included. We lost Hadj Johnson yesterday, thinking of his son Adam, his brother Pete and wife Jean. And after Tommy going, these are massive people in the history of the club. and Ad was like a father figure to a lot of people, myself included. So nothing but respect for the man, and I'm sure that him and Tommy and Ian Haig, another guy who's gone yesterday, I'm sure they'll be kicking the ball upstairs for us today in that match. And you know what, regardless of the result, it's for them. And whatever we do, the old saying never rings truer for us. We're pride in victory and loyal in defeat, and that's a City fan for you. Simple as that.
We're not a good side this year, and I know you're stumbling a lot, and I walked to this game with a knot in my stomach, and a lad come up behind me as I came off the bridge, and he says, "You red bastard," smiling. And I spoke to him. He was a blue from Salford, and he was absolutely sound. We spoke for 10 minutes, and it was like a race to the bottom of how bad we both are this season. We're trying to get excuses in early. I still think you're clear favourites. Really not as clear favourites as in the FA Cup, which is when I last spoke to you. What a wonderful day that was for United. But we're a very average team, and I come here with some trepidation because I don't like to see my team lose, and I fear that they're going to lose again. But mad things can happen in football, like at Wembley, and I suppose that's why we live for it. That's why we love it. And but I was just thinking, then I'm walking here and I don't feel enjoyment at all. I just feel tense. It just feels horrible. I'm like, are we supposed to enjoy this? So I'm not going to predict the game. I won't be surprised if it was 3-1 City, a draw. United won't win 3-1 because we're struggling to score goals. And yet we've had some cracking results. We've had some wins here. I spoke to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on Thursday. He had 3 consecutive wins here. He said he averaged 35% possession in those matches, but he felt he had players who could always be a threat. And then he listed them all, and they've all been sold. So don't know who the threat is now. Bruno Fernandes is still here. Højlund's he's a good young striker, but he's young. He's emerging. You've got players like Garnacho and Ahmad, who are exciting, but they're inexperienced. We don't know how good they're going to be, whether they're going to be top level. And the league table's not lying. I just got back from Czech Republic, where United had a win, but I'm playing against the Czech team in the Europa League and really struggling to win. But they did win. Just feel I'm sounding sort of hesitant because if there's any confidence, it's very fragile. I like the look of the new manager. I like what he did when he played against City last time, but I just do not expect that to happen again.
A derby means to me 2 or 3 days of sheer nerves before it. Then this morning I woke up thinking we can do this. Ideal game to do it, to be honest. As I'm getting nearer the game, I'm thinking, I don't think I'll be watching Match of the Day tonight. I don't know. I really don't know. I just love derby days, but it's one of them, isn't it? If it's a bad result, it's a worse result than ever with the results that are going that way. But Ian, to be honest, the squad's thin. It's an ages squad. Just needs an overhaul. But I just don't like people calling the players left, right and centre on social media. Look, we've done wonders. You know, each and every one of you, you've seen things that some clubs will never see in their life. So even, you know, if we didn't finish in the top 4, just think of all them trophies, think of all those moments. Istanbul, think of the treble, think of the 100 points. You know, you might have only supported them 8-9 years. A lot of us have seen far worse, believe you me, and if it happens again, we'll still stay with them.
This is the first time in 10 years I've woke up and I've been so nervous, and I've never been nervous at a derby in 10 years. I've not even been on my Facebook doing my art now here. I've stayed off it. I'm very nervous. But when I get back to work tomorrow, at least if we get beat, I can say, yeah, but we've been rubbish.
I just spoke to a big United fan who is equally nervous,
yeah,
who's fearful for them. It's a hard one to call this,
yeah,
isn't it?
I look at United over the last 7 weeks, no matter what United do, they still stay in 13th. They don't go up, they don't go down. I still think we've got that little bit in our tank. On our day we can beat them, but I'm still nervous, and I've not been like that for 10 years.
I think it'll be 3-1 today. I think this might be, you know, Pep said after the Liverpool game that it'll be our start to the season. I know we had a bit of an upset at Crystal Palace, but today I think's the day. I think today, Derby Day, you've got to do it. You've just got to show passion out there. Doesn't matter what it is. So I think 3-1, and we'll do these in today.
If today goes right, and I sincerely hope it does, we can light the whole of November out. All it takes is one result. Of course, this is the big one today. And I think, you know, we just got to tough it out the next few games against Villa and Everton. We're going to the new year and we'll get reinforcements in. And, you know, the other teams are dropping points, Liverpool, and dare I say Arsenal drop points as well. Is this time for City's run? They normally come good in the new year, so fingers crossed. It's good to be a Blue.
Very cagey, wasn't it? Very cagey start to the game. Both teams looking a little bit nervous and a bit of a fear of losing, but I thought when City controlled the ball and did all right with it without really testing the keeper, but then really good, well-worked set play, which is becoming a massive part of the game, and a fantastic header to put them 1-0 up. So I think they'll go in quite happy with that first half and give them something to build on.
A good win here today could turn the corner for them, couldn't it?
Well, everybody's saying what a fantastic start Liverpool had and what a bad run City are on the go. I think it's 6 points behind Liverpool with loads and loads of games to play. So it'll put them in a really good position to go into the new year.
I just don't know what happened at all though. It's like the good old days. We were in control, Johnny Stones coming on, 5 minutes to go, and we just implode. I can't explain it.
I mean, everybody seems stunned by that, don't they?
Yes, I mean, it's a derby and things like this happen in derbies. So you're never quite sure till the end of the game. But we just threw it away. It's extraordinary.
I mean, that's one win in 11.
Is it really now?
I mean, I can't really see how that happened today, honestly. City was so much better, weren't they?
Yeah, yes. And we were playing quicker. Defence was a bit more aggressive. And then what? We're both speechless, aren't we?
That's now unacceptable. That's unacceptable. Today, that's the worst United team that's ever come here. I was born in '72. I've never seen a worse United team than that.
They scored, they offered
as soon as they scored, you knew they were going to score again.
Before they scored, they offered nothing.
We scored 1 goal, and Arna makes no other saves.
How do you explain it?
I think there's something we don't know is going on. The team's grown old. Now, dial it back a bit. I'm angry, I'm annoyed, obviously, post-final whistle. I think this team wasn't the best team in the Premier League last year. I think even in the treble year, Arsenal were the best team. That season they were. These guys are winners, and the force of personality got us through. So it seems the drop-off is massive, because the drop-off's 3 years in now. 3 seasons in.
Last year, we missed Kev, but Phil stepped up and he managed to mask those problems. But this year, we're missing the Ballon d'Or winner in Rodri, we're missing
the player of the year in Phil, and Kevin De Bruyne is arguably one of the top 5 ever players in the Premier League.
Exactly.
So you can't miss that. But the fragility in the mentality is there.
We were the better team. Yeah. The whole game at 1-0. The second we conceded, I turned to you and said, "We're gonna concede here." What happened? We knew it.
So there's something deeper. Whether or not Fergie used to, like, obviously the longevity of Fergie. Every 3 or 4 years he replaces the system. And it kept, because he wasn't a training ground coach, Fergie. Maybe we need that. It's not Pep, he'll never be Pep out, but something's got to change. It's deeper than the players, something's got to change. And I think the Gvardiol's done a bad job for 2 or 3 years. You're selling good players and replacing them with potential all the time. You're ready-made, sold, replaced with potential. They've got too complacent. They've done a bad job at board level, and something else is going on. Yeah. But Derby Day, we're all Blues, we've seen it before. That's 5 times they've won it under Pep. 5 times they've come here and won. Yeah. Anyway, good to see you, Ian.
It's still great to be blue, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. And if they win another 10 games and we lose another 10, they might be almost just behind us in the Premier League. So it's not the end of the world, is it? We're a bit spoiled, what can I say?
Well, Ian, we love City. We're City till we die. And we're extremely disappointed with that result against them, because that is a very, very, very poor United team. We've allowed them to come from 1-0 behind to win 2-1, and all of it came about because we took off our best player. Why take off Doku, who was frightening them to death on the wing? They were scared of him. We take him off. Why, Pep? Why take off your best player? I don't know what's going through your mind, but there's a weakness there, and I don't know what's going on. Please put it right, Pep. Come on, City till we die. We'll support you forevermore, but please, come on.
Disgraceful. From minute 1 of that game, Ian.
Do you not think the first 80 minutes, though, we were completely on top?
No, we're inept. We're tactically inept, Ian. There's no front-footedness. There's no excitement. There's no edge of your seat action. There's absolutely nothing. You've got a 6'6" Norwegian up front that doesn't run the channels. You know, he goes into the press half-hearted. He couldn't press a button at the moment, that lad. Right, and forget about the 52 goals. I'm sick of hearing it all. Ian. I'm absolutely sick to my back teeth of hearing happy clapping City fans talking about the past, talking about what we've won and how much of a genius Pep is. He is a genius. He was a genius. He still is a genius now, but he ain't proving it. His substitutions are stupid. They're at the wrong times. We're tactically inept. Nobody's willing to break a line with a pass. No one's willing to play a channel ball. No one's willing to link passes together. No one's willing to take the impetus and take the front foot and do something first. They're always waiting for somebody else to make a movement for them, to help them decide what to do next. It's absolutely shocking football. It is so passive, it is so woeful. It's possession with no purpose. And all Pep told us in 2016 was that we were going to have possession with a purpose. And even in the seasons that we've won it at times in games, we've not played with a purpose and we've got through them. But right now we have not got enough quality on that football pitch. We've not got enough legs. We've got not enough, ability in the players that have been our stellar performers, like the Gundogan, like the Gundogan, like the Ruben Diaz's. That he's trying his hardest to lead the side. He's trying his hardest to rally the troops. The man with the armband isn't a leader. He's not a captain. He doesn't lead by example off the football pitch. He doesn't lead by example on the football pitch. And there's something stinkily wrong at the moment. And people are papering the cracks. Fans are saying, "Oh, don't be expectant. Don't be overreactionary. You can't call Pep. What? Is he mortal? Is he just going to be put on a pedestal forever? Because if he hadn't won 4 titles in a row, we'd spaff the title over the last 2 seasons to Arsenal. His job would be on the line. So what? That's what United fans do. Don't become United fans. You City fans that are happy clapping, saying, "Oh, he's a genius," and saying that, "Oh, you're overreacting." Yeah, you're just like them through that barrier over there. Yeah, and you're just like everything they became. You're just like everything they are, and we're becoming them. If you're going to start happy clapping that shit that I've watched today, you're becoming Man United fans.
With 10 minutes to go, I certainly didn't see that coming, and you can hear in the reaction from the people I spoke to after the game, there's a lot of emotion involved in losing a Manchester derby. I don't know what to add to really what everybody else has said. We'll be doing an audio podcast looking back on this game and ahead to the Villa game on Monday evening, the day after this game here, the Manchester derby that City have lost. Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate your support. And even in defeat, I'm not going to change my stance. It's still great to be a Blue, but it's also a bit devastating when you lose like that in a Manchester derby. See you next time.